Good day and welcome to another episode of BusinessWorld B-Side. I'm Patricia Mirasol, a multimedia producer at BusinessWorld. For today's episode, we'll talk about a steadily growing part of the Philippines' service industry, outsourced bookkeeping. Across the globe, more companies are turning to Filipino professionals to manage their financial records. In fact, the country has earned a strong reputation for accounting expertise, with nearly 200,000 certified public accountants renewing their licenses every year. That's according to the Philippine Institute of Certified Public Accountants. So, what makes Filipino bookkeepers stand out to foreign businesses? How does this industry shape the country's growing global footprint in finance and accounting? And why should foreign-owned businesses in the Philippines capitalize on the growth of this sector? To help us unpack this, we're joined by Attorney Jose B. Calsas Jr., the Chief Financial Officer and Legal Compliance Head of DNV Philippines, who is also our resource speaker representing Manila bookkeepers. With over 10 years of experience working with DNV Philippines, Attorney Calsas has the opportunity to manage more than 100 employees and collaborate with clients from various parts of the world. This experience has strengthened his leadership, cross-cultural communication, and client management skills. Mr. Calsas, welcome to BusinessWorld B-Side. It's great to have you here.
Yeah, good morning also, Ms. Patricia. I'm also happy to be invited as your resource speaker today.
Great.
Okay.
So let's get the ball rolling with the first question.
All right.
Many international companies trust Filipino professionals to handle their bookkeeping and accounting. From your extensive experience, what makes these foreign business owners confident about assigning such an important responsibility to teams in the Philippines?
Yes, of course. The Philippines, as everyone knows, has a very good accounting background in terms of our professionals. We have a very large pool of licensed certified public accountants. In fact, as you mentioned earlier, around 200,000. That's more or less on that number already. And these professionals can do both local and international accounting. And of course, our Filipino accountants are imbued with our character, which is part of our culture, that we are very professional, very resilient, and reliable. In fact, in terms of our experience with handling foreign clients and going to the Philippines, they really like our character, wherein we do not just give up in terms of difficulties in work. We ensure that at the end of the day, we have delivered the task at hand. So that's a very good Filipino character, especially for an accountant who handles day-to-day balancing of the accounts. And also, it's not just our character, it's also the infrastructure already here in the Philippines. Clients already trust the way we handle our data and security. In fact, our infrastructure, our IT infrastructure is not already away being a lagger in terms of infrastructure, security, and data privacy. We have established laws and also put up IT infrastructure.
I think it's awesome that Filipinos are able to handle bookkeeping both at the international and local levels, because I imagine they are very different in some ways. And I also think it's wonderful that the Philippines already has the technological infrastructure needed for these for outsourced bookkeeping to become a reality.
Yes,
All right.
yes, that's correct. Of course, we know by our history that our education is largely patterned after the United States. And our accounting education also is patterned in that particular area. So whenever our accountants study accounting, they're also aware already of the US standards and even the international financial reporting standards. And that's why it's a very good reason that foreign companies, when we have Filipinos that migrated abroad or just simply working abroad, they really prefer this kind of talents.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that. A big chunk of outsourced accounting and bookkeeping firms in the Philippines focus on businesses overseas, which is understandable. However, is there a benefit for businesses here in the Philippines to also outsource bookkeeping instead of hiring an in-person team, in-house
Yes.
team, rather?
Mm-mm, mm-mm. At first point, you would always look at the cost, and that is true. Outsourcing your accounting work, your bookkeeping work, not only lowers the cost, but also gives you the better handling of the overheads. And usually, when you get to have an accountant from companies like Manila Bookkeepers, an outsourced company, you are also getting the team behind that accountant. You're not only getting the skill of that particular accountant, you're also getting the manager's skill, the supervisor's skills, helping that accountant to deliver the service to you. So you have a wide range of knowledge behind the service. And also, I think it's very easy to scale up or down. You know that in business, there could be like downside or upside, but in an upside, you can increase immediately. And if there's a downside, you can just lower the working hours needed for that particular task in accounting. So that's how it's very easy to really outsource, and they can focus on their main thing in their business. Mm-mm.
One consideration about outsourcing bookkeeping is that it's a challenge to navigate local laws on taxes, as well as maintain compliance with the standards set by the different government agencies. How does Manila Bookkeepers help in that regard?
All right. Okay. For our local tax and regulations, when a foreign business would opt to outsource the finance and accounting to a company like Manila Bookkeepers, of course, we take care of managing and simplifying the complex tax laws and regulations, ensuring that our clients or these foreign clients, are taken care of. I think it's one of the discussion that foreign businesses have sometimes difficulty in managing our tax and rules, because in one local government, they have different rules. In one province, they have, although they are under a single law, but in terms of practicing and managing, working on obtaining compliance and others, they have different ways of doing it. So in Manila Bookkeepers, we ensure that the client do not anymore mind these things. We ensure that they are compliant as to the requirements of the BIR. And then we also provide them regular updates in terms of there are announcements, rules and regulations being passed by the BIR, even by upcoming legislations by Congress. We update our clients so that they are stayed informed, and they could plan ahead. And also, there are clients who do not anymore hire an external like lawyer or tax accountant. In Manila Bookkeepers, we act already as liaison between the company and also the BIR. So and other regulatory bodies like PEZA, DTI, so we ensure that they are compliant. So in summary, we emphasize to the client the education of having knowledge on the local laws, tax rules, and regulation, and to make them understand that it is necessary to file this and that, because they always compare it to their own countries. So we just ensure that they are always compliant. And we always receive that kind of comparison. Like in Australia, you only file once a month. But in the Philippines, you need to file a tax return on the 10th, on the 20th. It's monthly, and it's different. If it's quarterly, then there's also another annually. So there's so many days for compliance, unlike abroad. So yeah, we just make them knowledgeable on how it is being done here in the Philippines. Mm-hmm.
So Manila Bookkeepers assists its clients and to make the process more streamlined.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And
All right.
they and make them understand that it is needed, that it is required, and following this process will make the business more or fully compliant with the BIR and other government agencies.
Right. So the company helps take away the stress of
Correct.
doing business in the Philippines.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
then
So
it just
talking
moves to
about
the accountant in a brighter or sometimes in a comedic sense. The stress moves to the accountant. So we make sure here in Manila Bookkeepers, our team of accountants have work-life balance.
that's very wonderful to know. So talking about business owners some more, a lot of business owners say that outsourcing allows them more time to focus on growth instead of routine accounting tasks. From your perspective, which financial tasks in particular are better handled by outsourced professionals rather than by in-house staff?
Yes. In our experience, those that are better handled by an outsourcing team are recurring tasks and some non-decision making skills or tasks. For example, the bank reconciliations that are being done daily, invoicing to your suppliers, your customers, and even weekly or monthly payroll. These can be outsourced already to a team of accountants like in Manila Bookkeepers because they are repetitive. We just need to ensure that the standard process are being followed, and by outsourcing it, the team of accountants will be able to discuss improvements, which we always do for our clients. If the clients have like a standard process already, then we make sure that we make some improvements along the way. So this is how we ensure that as we get these repetitive tasks, there are no mistakes, or if there are mistakes, it can be corrected easily, and it's not material to the client. One thing also, aside from the repetitive tasks, we can outsource something that is specialized. For example, in your company, you do not have someone who's very knowledgeable on preparing, let's say, KPIs, analytical reports, because all you have is a general accountant. So you can outsource this kind of specialized skills so that you just need them to give you a report once a month or once a quarter, and then you use that report in your board meeting or in your management decision making. So these are really two kinds of ways to outsource. It's on the repetitive task and on the specialized skills.
So both ends of the spectrum. Okay. I want to dwell a little bit further on technology because some people say that outsourced services like customer support might be taken over by artificial intelligence in the future. What is your opinion on this, especially in the context of outsourced bookkeeping?
Yes. It's the accountant who sets the rules on whether let's say a 1,000 peso item needs to be recorded as an expense outright, or it should be recorded as a prepayment first. So that's the decision making of the accountant. The AI currently is not yet capable of that. And even when negotiating with your bosses, with the head of the company, it's always the accountant who can explain it. Our company are not threatened by the current AI environment. Because our accountants are also evolving. Whenever there is a artificial intelligence that's taking over a particular task, our accountants would just move on to a different task, which the AI has not yet able to take over. Like what I've said earlier, for the analytical part, the decision-making part. But for those things that are repetitive, like for example, you mentioned earlier the customer service, there's still some aspect there that the clients or the customer would want like a personal face-to-face or like an emotional component of a human being. So it's the same case also with Manila bookkeepers and our clients who are looking for automated tools, but at the end of the day would still want to speak to an accountant. So that's how I think is right now happening. We cannot stop artificial intelligence in its growth. However, what we can do is use the artificial intelligence as a tool to further develop our skill and also to know which skills are already in a way nearing obsolete, and when we develop or learn new skills for that particular account, which what we are doing here in Manila Bookkeepers.
I like what you said about using AI as a tool. So let's just use it as a co-pilot and upskill and reskill to be able to manage the tasks that artificial intelligence cannot. Okay. Now, by the way, a lot of small and medium enterprises from other countries are expanding into Southeast Asia. How does outsourcing bookkeeping in the Philippines help them remain compliant with local regulations whilst keeping their operations efficient and cost-effective?
Okay. It's the same thing that what we do. Once they move to the Philippines, we ensure that they're educated with our tax laws, rules, and regulations, and that they follow it. Of course, it's Manila Bookkeepers team who ensure that they are following, but we educate them. We inform them that they need to follow these rules. And also, I think not only by educating them, but really showing that the best practices and making sure that they are knowledgeable not only of the current laws, but the upcoming ones. Like for example, during the legislation related to the train law, the create law, the create more. So we inform our Manila Bookkeepers client that there are upcoming laws that could benefit them if they go to the Philippines or expand to the Philippines, and they could potentially pose a risk to their operation. Then, if it's a risk, we can lower it. We not really advise them, but in a way, we help them think that this is a risk that they need to, like for example, take or really eliminate.
I'm very interested to learn about these risks. Can you give examples of the most common types of risks that your foreign clients face and how you manage it for them?
All right. Okay. So one of the risks that we can help them manage is the decision to put up a physical office. So we have a particular Manila bookkeeper clients before. That's needing decision whether to put up a branch office or like a representative office, or they just put up a physical office or just a virtual one. So of course, in putting up a physical office, you need to go to the different local agencies and also the departments to apply. So these are, in terms of risk, there would be delay in the start of their commercial operations. It happens. So we tell them that going to a particular department takes this number of days, and then if we are not approved on this particular day, we help them to ensure that overall their timeline are not affected. Like for example, it helps that the ease of doing business was passed recently. So it helps them obtain necessary business permits. So it's not any more difficult. So we have them manage that particular delay, because when a client would decide to open a business in the Philippines, with the help of Manila bookkeepers, they really have a sort of a timeline, and following that timeline is really necessary in order for them to start their operations and make their business profitable.
That's a very good example about figuring out whether you need to set up a physical office here in the Philippines. I like what you said, that managing risks also enables you to to sustain their interest and in doing business in the Philippines. So you mentioned a lot of laws earlier, the CREATE law, the ease of doing business law, the TRAIN law. So my next question is, do you have any thoughts on how the Philippines as a country can further solidify its status as an attractive provider of outsourced services like bookkeeping in comparison to, let's say, its ASEAN counterparts?
All right. One of the things that I always, in my personal view of this, is there's already our English speaking skills. You cannot really take that from us. We have been educated in the American ways, in British way, or in the way English speaking countries are educated. So it's already an asset. And also the location, it's already an asset. It's just that we need to make good infrastructure. So whenever they need to travel abroad, again, they could just go to the airport. I think it's just 30 minutes away or less than 1 hour from our office here in Makati. So give and take, there's a traffic, but it's really fast already. And then you can take the Skyway. So having a good infrastructure is really essential for this kind of outsourcing. Because if they put up an office in Manila, they really would like to have a location wherein the accountants, the bookkeepers would have easy access to that location. And having easy access to that location needs infrastructure. One of the good example also that's been done in here in Ayala, Makati, where our office is located, is this One Ayala. If you go down, previously this is Hotel Intercontinental, if you remember that era. And people would line up across Ayala to ride the bus, a jeep. But right now, because this transport hub was created, was built, people will just go downstairs and ride the bus and go anywhere. So this is the same thing that we need for our client.
I think there's this bill called, or is it now already a law, the Konektadong Pinoy bill or law that will make it easier for more players in the telco industry to compete with the top two. Yeah, and I agree that One Ayala Transport Hub is a very, very convenient piece or type of infrastructure. And I hope we have more of those in the future.
Yes.
All right. My last question is, having worked closely with both foreign and local clients, what advice would you give to entrepreneurs who want to build a stable partnership with outsourcing firms like Manila Bookkeepers?
Okay. All right. I think the first step is they should not look for a provider. They should look really for a partner. Because when you look for a provider, we notice that they have a thinking of just moving to another provider. But if you are looking for a partner, you will value more that provider and also the people behind that provider. Here in Manila Bookkeepers, we treat our clients, our foreign clients, as partners, and we encourage them to think as also as their partners or business partners. And not only the company, like the Manila Bookkeepers as a company, but also the people behind the Manila Bookkeepers. They are their partners. The accountants assigned to them most probably would know the ins and outs of the business of that foreign investor. So by thinking that particular accountant or bookkeeper assigned to you as one of your partner, you will value that person, the relationship, the environment that makes that person stay to the account or to the client. Because as you know, Ms. Patricia, there's also this mindset right now of the young Gen Zs. They like to jump companies, one company from another. So you really have to make sure that they are treated as a partner, and that they feel that you value them, so that they could stay with you for the longest possible terms. Here in Manila Bookkeepers, we are proudly saying to our clients that our accountants started from their university, after their university days, or even after they are assigned or they work in a big four company, they are already 6 years, 7 years staying. So we have a very good tenure rate among our employees. So you need to value your provider as a partner.
So you need to approach this as a partnership and not as a provider supplier sort of relationship.
Like a commercial one.
All right, I like that insight. Okay, I don't have any other questions, Mr. Calsas. Is there anything else you would like to share with our audience?
All right. Okay. Here as Manila Bookkeepers, I would like to share that we have helped clients since I think over a decade ago. And also not only our clients, but also young Filipino accountants who have their mind of working in a very competitive environment. I remember when I was still in college, Ms. Patricia, the president then was, I think, President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. She said, I think in one of her speeches, that she longed for the day that Filipinos would not anymore work abroad as an only choice, but as an option. Having outsourcing grow here in the Philippines from its humble beginnings right now to $1 billion service industry, it created an environment wherein Filipino accountants, and not only Filipino accountants, probably other professions, it created an environment that we have a choice not anymore to work in Singapore, because working in a company like Manila Bookkeepers, I can also work with a Singapore-based company that opens an office here in the Philippines, and the salary is also competitive. I need not travel abroad because I need to work. I work there or I live there. I travel abroad because it's one of my perks as an outsourced accountant or bookkeeper here in the Philippines. So it created like a giant industry wherein accountants, young professionals are earning well above their counterparts in the local industry, and they have a choice already. I don't want to go abroad anymore because I am attaining or I'm earning the same amount of salary or benefits if I go abroad. Because if you go abroad, it may be a little bit higher, but the cost of living is also high. So the net factor would be the same. And living in the Philippines in an outsourced company, providing services to foreign clients or here in the Philippines, they are earning as much as they work abroad or even higher for some professions. So the outsourced industry gave us that opportunity not only to help our family, to help our country, but also to help other countries who are lacking the resources that they need.
Okay, so it sounds like the outsourcing industry offers Filipinos the best of both worlds. They earn a very competitive salary whilst being able to stay at home and be with their families. So that's the best of both worlds. Thank you very much, Mr. Calsas, for sharing your time and expertise with us today.
Yeah, thank you also, Ms. Patricia. I'm very lucky and honored also to be interviewed.
Thank you.
And share my thoughts also.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I'm now more interested in bookkeeping than I ever was before.
Yeah.
Kindly subscribe to and follow Manila Bookkeepers website and social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Email them also at marketing@manilabookkeepers.com for a free assessment. For more business insights and in-depth conversations, follow Business World B-Side on Spotify and stay updated with the latest stories from Business World on all our social media pages. I'm Patricia Mirasol, and this has been Business World B-Side. Thank you for listening.